previous class, we have seen the basic introduction about the JavaScript. So JavaScript is a kind of a scripting language which is meant for the purpose of to improve the interactiveness of the website. Okay. Then we have seen JavaScript is a kind of a loosely coupled language, whereas the TypeScript is a kind of tightly coupled language, which means that in JavaScript we need to define the type of the data type. Whereas coming to TypeScript, we have to specifically define the type of the data type also. For example, you can visualize here where j equal to Krishna. That is what the syntax of JavaScript. Whereas coming to TypeScript, we have to compulsory specify what type of data it is also. That should be defined for the TypeScript. And also we have seen JavaScript uses interpreter before the version ES6. ES6. After the version ES6, they have used interpreted compiled language, meaning that they are using JIT also in our while executing our JavaScript code. And then we have seen the advantages of JavaScript and various applications of JavaScript also. And then we have seen how to write the JavaScript. Like we are going to write the JavaScript in two ways. One is as internal JavaScript, another one is as external JavaScript. With execution also I have explained. And then how to declare a variable, we can declare it in three ways. One is with help of var, let, and constant keyword. And then we have seen various kind of data types like string, object, number, boolean, undefined, all those things. Okay. And type of is a kind of operator which is meant for the purpose of to know what kind of data type it is. This is what we have seen in the previous class. Now in today's class we will see the concept of further concepts like operators. So these concepts you already know while studying the language like C language, Java language. Those same concepts will be applicable here. Like we have arithmetic operators, logical operators, relational operators. The same kind of operators what we are using in C language, Java language, all will be applicable here. So I hope this concept you already know. Okay. For example, if I go for console, 1 minute, I think I am getting some error here. So this is the code that you have seen in the previous class. For example, I would like to perform some kind of arithmetic operation. 2 plus 3, 5. This is a kind of arithmetic operation. For example, 7 by 2. You are getting some floating value. Whereas coming to C language, what is the answer for 7 by 2? What you will get? 3. It's not 3.5. Whereas coming to JavaScript, you will get 3.5. Okay, like 7 modulus 2. What is the answer you will get? You will get 1. Remainder you will get. Okay, fine. So this is what like the same procedure what you are following in C language as well as in Java. Okay, so in addition to that, we have a basic difference here, one kind of operator. That operator is equal to operator and normal equal to operator. So what is the first kind of operator? What we call comparison operator. This is already we know, which is meant for the comparison of two variables. What about the second kind of operator? Equal to operator, right? So which is meant for, which is a kind of assignment operator. Assignment operator. I hope you know the difference between these two. For example, let me write like this. If 5 double equal to 5, 5 double equal to 5, what is the answer will you expect here? Whatever the syntax that you are going to write in the loop, that will be get executed. Console dot log of equal. If I am going to write some else case, console dot log of not equal. Now what is the answer will you expect, guys, here? Equal or not equal? Equal. Equal. So that is the advantage of comparison operator, double equal. If you are going to write single equal to, it is a kind of assignment operator which is meant for initializing various kind of variables. Okay, fine. Now if I am writing like this, try to observe. Now what is the answer will you expect? Will you get the output as equal or not equal? So we are getting confusing. You will get the answer as equal only. That is the problem with the JavaScript, because of JavaScript is a kind of a loosely coupled language. It is going to provide as equal. Why? Because by default this comparison operator will check for the value only. The value only. If you want to check for specifically the value and its data type, it is going, if you want to check for value and the data type also, then you can go with triple equal to operator. Triple equal to operator. Then it is going to strictly check for the data type also. If you write, now what is the answer will you expect? Not equal. You will get the not equal. If you write like same data type value, now you will get the value as equal. So this is the extra operator that you need to know here in this JavaScript language. Okay, fine. And I already explained an operator called type of operator, which is meant for to know what type of data type it is. This is what we have explained in the previous class. And there is an operator called ternary operator, which is meant for the purpose of replacing a kind of operator condition called if else block. Okay, fine. So how we are going to write ternary operator like this? First you have to write the condition, then positive statement. In the else block you have to write the negative statement. So this is the purpose of ternary operator. Okay, fine. Then we'll see various kind of conditional statements. What is the need of conditional statements? If you want to execute a block of code, when a particular condition is satisfied, then we'll go for the various kind of conditional statements like if kind of conditional statement, if else block, else if block, switch statements. These are the various kind of conditional statement, meaning that if you would like to execute a statement when a particular condition is satisfied, then I can go with these conditional statements. Okay, fine. Let me go with some examples. Here itself you can able to observe. For example, let me take if age double equal to 5. If the user entered age is 5, then I need to satisfy some condition. Entered age is 5. So this is the example for if block, meaning that when this condition is satisfied, when it returns true value, then only this block is going to be executed. These are all basic things that you already know. For this, if I am going to add, then I will get the negative statement also, meaning that if the given condition is true, positive block is going to be executed. This is what I am calling it as a positive block. If the given statement is false, then else block is going to be executed. Entered age is not 5. So this block I am calling it as negative block. Negative block. The same thing can I achieve it through the operator called ternary operator? Can I get or not? Yes. How we are going to get? Simply I can write age double equal to 5. Then I can write question mark. What I can write ma? Console dot log of. So positive statement colon. I can write console dot log of negative statement. Negative statement. That's it. If I execute now, how many statements will you go? Will you print it? Age is not defined. Okay. Okay, fine. Let me take where age equal to 5. Now we'll get 2 times enter age is 5, because one is for this if block, another is for this conditional operator. Okay, fine. So if you want to go for else if statement, then what I can do? If you want to write multiple conditional statement, then I can go with the else if block part. For example, if age greater than 15, entered age is greater than 15, then this is not negative block. Else I can go with entered age is not 5 or not greater than 50. That's it, right? So for example, if I pass the value as 12, you will get the entered age is not 5 or not greater than 50. So this is the way you can use else block. So in else block, you are going to write multiple conditional statements. Multiple conditions. One condition statement is going to fail, then the next condition statement is going to be executed. In this condition block, you can able to write multiple conditions also. With the help of logical and logical or all those things you can able to use. Okay. So for the else if statement, the alternative kind of statement is there. What is that? Switch statement. Switch statement is going to accept a variable, any kind of expression, switch of age. Here we are going to write certain kind of conditions. Case, for example, I am going to write 15. I am going to write 5 only. Case 5. Console.log of entered age is 5. Age is 5. And then I have to compulsory write break. Next case 15. Entered age is 15. Next we need to write break. What is the use of break keyword? What is its use? Entered age is not 5 or not 50. So the purpose of break keyword is meant for to exit from the block. If you want to exit from the block when a particular condition is satisfied, then I am going to use the break keyword. Okay, fine. So here what will happen is switch statement is going to accept a parameter. That parameter can be a normal variable or it can be any kind of expression. If this expression is going to satisfy any one of the condition, then the corresponding statement is going to be executed. Once the corresponding statement is satisfied, once the corresponding condition is satisfied, the set of statements which you have written in that block will be executed. Okay. Whenever it encounters a break, it is going to simply exit from that block and it is going to execute the remaining set of statements. So, if I execute right now, what is the answer will you expect? We will get entered age is not 5 or not 15 because the age variable I have declared as 12. I have declared it as 12. For example, if I declare the age value as 5, now we will get entered age is 5. Entered age is 5. For example, I have removed my break keyword here. Now what is the answer? What is the answer? You will get two statements. Entered age is 5 as well as entered age is 15. Why? That is a property of switch statement. When a particular condition is satisfied, the set of statement is going to be executed until it encounters next corresponding break keyword. Right? This condition is executed, this condition is satisfied, and the set of block of statements are executed, and it doesn't encounter any break keyword. Then it is going to execute all the remaining statements until it encountered a break keyword. For example, here also I have removed the break keyword. Now what is the answer? You will get all. You will get all. Okay. So that is the advantage of break keyword. So once it encounters the break keyword, it is going to exit from the block. Now tell me, what is the difference between this else if block as well as switch statement? I think you have studied Java and C language, right? What is the difference between both else if and switch statement? At least one difference. In else if, it can allow different kind of conditions, different types of conditions. That conditions can be anything. Whereas in switch, it can allow only one type of condition. Only one type of, I mean, it will be related to only one data. That can be anything, right? For example, guys, can I write like this? 10 plus 5. What is the answer will you expect now? Will you get enter age is not 5 or not 15 or enter age is 15? You will get enter age is 15 because it is going to be evaluated. Expressions are also going to be evaluated here in switch statement. That can be in any language. And that too, these all conditions are related to one kind of variable, that variable is age variable. Whereas coming to else if block, those conditions can be any kind of data. That is the difference between else if as well as switch statement. Okay. Fine. Next kind of statements, looping statements. Looping statement. So up to now we have seen, I would like to execute a block of code for one time. That's it. If you would like to execute that block of code for multiple times, that multiple times can be 5 times, 10 times, or infinite times, then I can go for looping statements. So we have already know various kind of looping statements like for loop, while loop, and do while loop. Do while loop. So the syntax for this for loop is, which you already know that. So what is the syntax for this? For first is initialization, next is condition, next is increment or decrement, followed by block of statements. Followed by block of statements. For example, value of I is I. That's it. So you will get the answer as value of I is 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. So if you want to modify, you can modify in your own way. So this is the way you can write for loop. How we are going to write while loop? While of condition. You have to write something like I less than 10. So before using of I variable, I have to declare that variable where I equal to 0. Equal to 0. Then this after this condition, I have to write some set of statements. Console dot log of. Now what is the answer for this? If I execute, what is the answer for this? Will you execute? Will you get the 0 as answer for infinite loop, or it will terminate at somewhere? It is going to get infinite loop, amma, because the value of I is not incrementing. So you have to get like this. So compulsory you have to use the increment operator or decrement operator, which will satisfy our condition. This is the way you are going to write while state, while loop. How we are going to write the do while? Do followed by, sorry, you have to write this condition. So I hope you already know all this while I less than 10. So I think you will get here some conflict. What is that conflict? So what is the output for this? Can anybody tell? Will you get any output? You will get output from 0 to 9, and then will you get any output? You won't get any output because value of I is 10 then. So value of I is 10. After that it is going to be exited. So then what I will do is I will going for declare one more variable where j equal to 0. Value of j is j. Now you will get the answer as value of j is from 0 to 9. J is from 0 to 9. Okay, fine. I need to know the difference between these three. Can anybody tell the difference between these three? What is the difference between for loop and while loop? When we go for loop and when we go for while loop? When we know number of iterations, when we go for number of iterations, then I can go for loop. When we don't know exactly number of iterations, then I can go with the while loop. So you have to know all this. In the interview they may ask, okay, what is the difference between while and do while? When we go for do while and when we go for while? So if you want to execute your code at least once, then I can go for do while. If you want to get converse of the do while, then I can go with this while. This is what you have to know clearly. Okay. this is what all about the looping statements. Okay. In addition to this, we have other kind of loops are there. So before going to that, so in the last class I have already explained the concept of strings. So how we are going to create the string where a equal to something like cs, a equal to something like c. So here a is a kind of object which is of type string. It's of type string. Okay. Now I would like to extract the characters of this string. Like I would like to first extract c, then s, then followed by e. How we are going to do that? Can I go with for loop? Can I extract or not? Yes. Yes or no? Yes. So then what I will do? Let I equal to 0. Can I write like I less than what I would like to write now here? You have to write the length of the string, right? How we are going to write the length of the string? By simply using a keyword called length keyword. Length is a kind of keyword which is meant for to find out the length of the array or to find out the length of the string. So once you find out the length of the string, so you may iterate that many number of times. Then I can go with the iteration. Characters of string is if I go with I, what will happen here? You will get index positions, right? So strings gani for strings or for arrays, you are going to have index positions. I want to get values, right? If I want to get values, how we are going to accept that? You have to write a of I. Very good. I need to write a of I. A of I. Then I can extract. Sorry. Character of string is C, S, and E. This is the way I can able to extract. Okay, fine. So in this process, I am trying to write some extra data. First, what I am doing, I am trying to identify index positions. Then I am trying to go for that position, and I am going to extract the value. Instead of getting this kind of procedure, we can have a kind of loop. That loop, calling it as for of loop, is a kind of a new loop which you don't know. For of loop is a kind of loop which is meant for accessing of values of arrays or strings. Values or arrays or strings. I mean, instead of going for identifying index positions, then going for values, we can directly get the values of that string. That we can do with the help of a loop called for of loop. Okay, how we are going to write? For example, observe. So the same thing I can able to get like this. Observe. How we are going to write the syntax means for you have to write off. Off is a kind of keyword. From which post you want to get? From which string I need to get? A. So for every iteration, I am going to declare some variable, right? Some initialization. For example, let me take that variable as C. That variable as C, meaning that for first iteration, C contains what value? C. C contains C. For second iteration, C contains what? Yes. For third iteration, C contains E. So that is the procedure for this. So this is the syntax for of loop. That's it. So I can able to write console.log of characters of string R. Now what I am going to write here? Simply C. That's it. So if I execute, you will get the same output. So if you want to access the values of an object directly, so in JavaScript arrays all arrays or strings all will come from an object only. Okay. So values of an object, then I can go with for of loop. For example, let me take where b equal to, I am trying to declare one array. So I will take the concept of arrays in tomorrow's class. I am trying to declare one array. Now I would like to read the values of this array. What I can do? One way is I can go with this normal for loop syntax. Normal for loop syntax. Or can I go with this syntax? Yes or no? Simply, for example, for let's say for k of b, I am trying to print hmm, array values are, I'm trying to get. Meaning that for first iteration, the value 4 will be copied to k, for second iteration, the value 5 will be copied to k, and so on. It will repeat until it encounters the end of the array or end of the string. You will get all those things like this. Okay, Namma? If you want to go with normal for loop, what you have to do? First, I have to go with index position. Then I need to go with. So, in addition to index position, I need to calculate the length of the array also. So, now to overcome this entire burden, they are moving for this for off loop. Okay, fine. For example, there is an object. There is an object. That object I am calling it as. Let me take car. This is already we have seen in the previous class. This car having a name of the car. Name of the car. For example, car name is Toyota, and type of the car, that can be a diesel or a petrol car. Like this we may have various kind of properties for a car. Now if I would like to access, if I would like to access the values of access the values of this car, the values of this car, can I go with normal for loop? Can I go with normal for loop? What will happen if I go with normal for loop? Try to observe. Let I equal to 0. What is the need of declaring here I? Actually, we are defining it as index positions. But is there an index positions here? There is no concept of index positions. And also, it is not possible to count the length of the object. If you want to find out the total number of properties are there, it is not possible for us because there is no predefined length keyword for objects. It is only for strings or arrays. So that is not possible here. So that is the reason what we can do is, so normally how can you able to access here the values of Toyota or petrol? What we can do, ma? Can I write like car of, in the last class I have already shown, right? Car of, if I write like Toyota, sorry, car of name, car of name, what is the output you will expect? You will get Toyota. Now I would like to get all these values like this. So if I am having n properties, all those properties values I want to get. One solution is I can able to find out the length of the object. I need to print, but length keyword is not possible for the objects. Then the better solution is we can go with, there is a kind of loop called for in loop. For in loop. For in loop. So for in loop is meant for accessing keys of an object. For off loop is specifically meant for accessing the values, whereas for in is meant for accessing the keys. Can I apply this for in loop for strings, arrays now? Arrays, for arrays and strings, is there are no keys? Keys are there or not? Index are nothing but keys, right? Then I can apply for in also. That is the difference between for in and for off. For example, let me take, I can take this B array only. I can take this B array only. Then I can write. So I am trying to make comment all this. Try to observe. So how we are going to write the syntax? Same thing. For some variable name I am trying to declare for making of copy of the for every iteration. For k in B. For k in B. Now if I am trying to print the value of k, you can observe what will happen. Keys are. What is the answer will you expect now? 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3 are the keys for arrays. Am I right or not? Values means 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can apply this for in for all kind of objects. Now, so if you want to access the keys for this object, then what I can do simply for k in car, you will get keys are name and type. If I am going to add one more thing like usage, use equal to something, what I am getting, I am writing here. Keys are use also. You will get. Now, guys, if I would like to access values, what I will do? You have to write car of k. Very good. Very good. So I can write simply values of car object are car of k. Values of car object are Toyota, petrol and road. So this is the way you can work with foreign loop. So these are the two new loops which you have to know already. You have to know clearly. Okay, na? Fine. And the difference also just now I have explained. Okay, fine. So next I will explain the keywords called break keyword and the continue keyword. So what is the break keyword? Which is meant for the purpose of exiting from the a block, exiting from the a looping statement, that looping statement. For example, let me take this for loop. If for example I would like to have if some I double equal to 5, if I double equal to 5, I need to break from this block. Now what is the output will I expect here? Meaning that when this particular condition is satisfied, I am trying to encounter a break keyword, which is meant for I am trying to exit from the block itself. What is that block? For block. So your answer will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I go with continue here, what is the use of continue? When the particular condition is satisfied, the remaining statements won't be executed and directly goes to the block itself, loop itself. So now you can expect answer from except for all the remaining values will be get executed. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. So that is the difference between break and continue. Okay, fine. Next kind of concept, that is pop-up boxes. So these are important for you, pop-up boxes. So pop-up boxes are meant for providing information to the user, information to the user, or to get confirmation from the user, or to get input from the user. To get input from the user, I can go with the pop-up boxes concept. Okay, so in order to satisfy this requirement, we have three kind of properties. One is alert method, another one is confirm method, another one is prompt method. These three are the methods which are meant for various kind of purposes. Okay, alert method is meant for to provide information to the user or to provide warning message to the user. Warning message to the user, meaning that before entering the user into the corresponding website, first he has to know what kind of information we need to provide, then we can go with this alert box. Okay, try to observe here. I am going to make it comment this one. For example, let me write like alert of you are entering RGUKT site. If I press refresh here, observe, it is going to provide some information to the user along with a box. So you cannot able to perform any operation on this website unless you click OK here. So meaning that it's just a kind of information or a kind of warning. So for example, I would like to provide a warning. If you are going to use this website, you will use more internet. That kind of message if you want to provide, then I can go with this kind of alert message. So when I click on OK, then only I can able to access this my entire website. Okay, fine. For example, let me take where j equal to console.log of. I'm trying to write j. Trying to write j. Try to observe. If I refresh and click OK, what you are getting here? Undefined. Meaning that whenever you click OK button on the information kind of alert box, it is going to return nothing. It is going to return nothing. Okay. But whereas coming to So its return type is undefined. So return type is undefined. Undefined. Whereas coming to confirm method, its return type is boolean values. Its return type is boolean values. Boolean values means it can be two cases, either true or false. That's it. Okay. So when we go for confirm method means if you want to make confirmation from the user, like is your age is greater than 15 or not, are you sure you want to use this website or not, at that case you can go with the confirm method. The name itself clearly provides. For example, confirm of is your age is greater than 15. I can go with F5. You can observe here, you have two options here. OK and click cancel. If I click OK, it is going to return the true. If I click cancel, it is going to return false. It is going to return false. Okay, fine. So what will happen is I am trying to manage the data. So I am going to store that variable. So return type variable I am going to store in some location called J once again. J once again. Now what I will do is based upon this J value, if J double equal to true, I'm going to click on, I'm going to print that data. Otherwise, I'm going to print that data. I hope you already know, right? Clearly. Now what will happen? Observe. If I click OK, you will get true because you have selected as your age. My age is greater than 15. If I click cancel, you are saying that my age is not greater than 15. So based upon this, I can able to redirect to some particular process. Okay, that is the purpose of your using. And one more important point: these three methods, these three methods are the methods of an object called window object. Window object, and this is the root object. That is why I'm not accessing with the help of window also. Sorry, you are not getting this right. So if you want to access this confirm method or alert method or prompt method, I can access like this also. Even though I am not writing, it is not providing error means by default the root object is window object only. So that is why this is not providing an error. So whenever I am trying to explain the concept of DOM object, there you can clearly observe this one. So right now, try to understood. These three methods are related to window object. If I write like console dot, will it provide the answer for you? No, because console is a different object. Console is a different object, and so for every object you have certain methods. In window object, they declared these methods. Okay, fine. So this is what confirm method will do. Next, we'll go with prompt method. Prompt method. When we go for prompt method means, if you would like to accept some input from the user, enter your age, enter your age, then I can go with prompt method. Try to observe. It is going to provide text field where you can able to enter some data. For example, I would like to enter 67. Click OK. So now I need to store the user entered data, right? For this, what will happen is the return type is either a value or its return type is null. What value it is going to return? The user entered value. If he clicks cancel, it is going to return the null. It's going to observe here. If click cancel, it is going to return the null. So I can able to handle that. Where j equal to prompt, enter your age. I would like to print, sorry, I would like to print the value of j. The value of j which is entered by the user. Observe. If I am entering 67, click OK. That data will be used for some other purpose. Right now I am using for its printing. If I am clicking cancel, its return type is null, meaning that I am not interested to enter some data. So based upon that kind of situation, you can go further. For example, here, I'm sorry, here by default there is no value passing here. If you want to pass a particular value, then also you can able to pass. For example, I would like to pass the default value as 50. I can pass the second parameter as the default value. then it is going to produce the default value. If you want to edit, you can able to edit. Okay, for all this also you can able to do this entire process. For example, I would like to add some data through a variable. For example, where k equal to 5, k equal to 6, I can able to add. So my purpose, my interest here is I would like to add a variable data also for this. What will happen over here? Confirm your age greater than 156 something. So I mean, my interest is we can able to add a variable data, not only text which you can add directly. You can able to add any variable data to this box. That is what I would like to explain here. Similarly for this also, for alert also you can able to do that. You are entering RGKT website 6, something like this. So meaning that in the real time what will happen? You are not doing statically, right? You are trying to define to the user dynamically. For example, you are when you are trying to entering into RGKT site, you are need to access some value from the URL of the website, and that URL you need to push to the user. At the time, what you are going to do in this variable, you are going to pass that URL. You are going to pass that URL RGKT. Then you can show that you are trying to enter into RGKT website. This value you are going to do dynamically. So that is the reason I am trying to explain. So how we are going to concatenate with the alert method and confirm method syntax is by using plus operator. Plus operator is a kind of concatenation operator. Okay, this is the way you can able to use these three methods. So confirm method is meant for to get the confirmation, whereas coming to prompt method is used for to take input from the user. From the user. For example, my requirement is my requirement is I need to accept an input from the user. I need to accept an input from the user. That input should be greater than 25 and less than 30. Greater than 25 and less than 30. This process need to be satisfied until he entered a valid data. Valid data means he need to enter the data between 25 and 30. If he is entering other than any value, you have to always provide the option of prompting. Then how you can do this process? Can we do it or not? Cheppanam, tell me the solution for this. First, we need to accept the input from the user. For that, I am going to take where p equal to. I am trying to take prompt of enter valid data between greater than 25 and less than 30. Less than 30. So he will enter some data. That data will be stored in p variable. Based upon this p variable condition, I need to iterate or I need to stop the process that you need to define, right? So what you can do now? Can I use if loop, if block? I need to iterate it for multiple times. Then if block is necessary or for loops is necessary. Loops. Then I can go with loops. In these loops also, will you go for loop or while loop? While loop. Why can't we go for loop? Because we don't know when the user will enter the correct data. Then I can go with while loop. In while loop or I can go with do while loop. Which one is the best one between while and do while? I will prefer for do while. Why so? If you go with while, we have to write extra statements. That is the problem with while loop, right? So I will go with while loop. Here I have to write the condition. What is that condition? He has to iterate this process for some certain kind of condition, like while p less than 25 or p greater than 30. If the p value is less than 25 or p value is greater than 30, this process need to be iterated. You can check this. you may get certain doubt right here. I will execute. I'm sorry for this. Enter valid data between. So if I go for 28, click OK. It is iterating, right? If I go for 78, click OK. It is iterating. Anyway, it is iterating. Click cancel. One minute. First, it will load the website. It needs to. Is there any mistake here? Syntax mistake or anywhere? I need to open it in browser. Observe. If I go with 28, click OK. It will stop its process. Why it stopped its process? Because we entered valid data. If we didn't enter, if you entered invalid data, it is asking for again prompt. If you click cancel also, it will ask for prompt. It is going to do the process until what? Until you entered a valid data. This is the way you can able to do this process. Okay, no? Fine. So this is the way you can work with this prompt method also. Okay, so we can stop here and we'll continue with the next class.